I've often been introduced at various galas, events and functions as a man who needs no introduction. Not because I'm famous and well known, but because people literally have no idea who I am. So for the uninitiated, my name since birth is Patrick Scott. I'm the host of a brand new TV series called Short Circuit. This program showcases a curated selection of short films made by Victorian filmmakers. Each week, we'll explore a different genre of film and be joined by a special guest from the film industry to discuss the week's lineup of short films and broader filmmaking challenges. Our guest today has been described by the website Film Inc. as the patron saint of short film. We're chatting with Richard Sowada. Richard has decades worth of experience across film exhibition and distribution, now as the Festival Director of the Kilda Film Festival and also as the founder of the Revelation Film Festival in Perth. There really is no better person to speak to when it comes to navigating the festival circuit and the inner workings of the local film industry. But in order to watch these short films, we've generously been invited to host each of our episodes inside some of the most iconic and historically rich cinemas all across the state. Today, for example, we're at Fomo Cinemas here in the small suburb of East Brunswick. So let's head inside now to check out some of its features and chat all things short film with Richard Sowada. Hello and welcome to Short Circuit. I'm your host, Patrick Scott. We're here today in the independently owned Fomo Cinemas located in East Brunswick, which first opened its doors in 2024. We're going to chat a lot more about its features later on. But first of all, I want to introduce our guest today, who we're going to be talking about an amazing lineup of short films with and his work and career. We're joined by the Festival Director of the Kilda Film Festival, Richard Sowada. Welcome, Richard. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
For those who are unfamiliar, could you please introduce us to what the role of Festival Director typically entails and what sort of responsibilities would you have in the lead up to a festival?
Okay, there's a lot, as you'd expect. So primarily it's deciding on the artistic direction of the event itself. And that kind of changes from year to year. Like every year in the films that we get with the St Kilda Film Festival, for instance, we get close to 900. And for next year, we'll be getting more than 1,000 the way it looks. I look at all the movies and from that, I have to kind of discern the creative flavour of the industry. So they're the kind of things that I go, you know what, that's what people are doing now. So I have to kind of channel that, not in that every film has got to be like that in the festival, but it's like, okay, here's an island in the sea of films that people are thinking is important to kind of work toward. And then interpret that into the look of the festival, how the venue looks, how the pre-show looks, and just how it all comes together in a cohesive conversation for the audience. So it's that kind of vision that you kind of bring in. And in that there's kind of a difference between programming and curating, two different things. So I look at what I do as curating, and it's not just curating the films, but the entire experience. So with that comes the team that delivers the event. It's like, so I say to them, this is what I think we're doing. This is what I want, basically. So I have to kind of bring that out in the movies by the way that I put them together, so that each short film session, which may have 8 films in it, for instance, 6 or 8 films, kind of speaks to each other and flows in a way that a film does. It's like I put this film here at the beginning, and it relates to the end. So by the end of that session, it's like you're watching a feature film. It's like, okay, I get that conversation. So that's the kind of deeper role that I do. And on top of that is pushing all the pieces around to make the puzzle at the end.
Yeah, I'm really curious to find out more about the programming and the curating and how the Kilda Film Festival in particular pairs and groups films together. I want to explore that a little bit later on. First, I want to introduce you to our first short film.
Yeah.
Our first short film is called Lime Parfait. It's directed by Pat Mooney and starring and co-written by Hannah Camilleri. And it's about a young woman named Daniela who, on a hot day in Melbourne in the western suburbs, she has to paint her nana's pergola before the house is auctioned off. So let's check it out.
Come on, Mum. You used to love swimming. Oh, no one's gonna see you. We don't even have to go to the main bit. Mum, you're beautiful. What if we ran in really quickly? Well, I'm gonna go by myself. She's not so good. She's really grumpy and she knows what's going on, and I think it's really sinking in now. I know. You're nearly there, Mum. Okay, I'll see you at home. Let me know if you change your mind and want to do something fun for once. Okay, see ya. Love you. Bye.
Was that Mom?
Yeah.
I'm sure she's glad now. She doesn't have to worry about me anymore.
No, Nana.
Yeah, I bet she's happy. She can do whatever she likes.
That's not true, Nana.
You ask her. Old fruit in the bin. Huh.
What's that?
You want it? It's for you.
Why don't you want it, Nana?
What am I gonna do with it? Take it, Daniela. Nanno gave it to me.
Thanks, Nana. It's beautiful.
Miskina. So helpful to her, Nanna.
Thank you.
Sabiha, nice.
I'm gonna go to the beach, Nana. Do you want to come?
The beach?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do at the beach?
Swim.
Wala ya hasri, you're not swimming. I don't think so, no.
Okay.
What are you doing tomorrow, Hanini? Are you gonna come round and finish for Nana?
No, I've basically finished. I've just got to touch up a few bits.
This is the undercoat, Emma.
No, this is the final colour. I used Nana's paint.
Hana, Rafain.
There was no other paint in the shed, Nana. That's the colour. Look, here. Cressida. This is it.
Daniela, I know what it is. I painted it with Nani.
You and Nana painted it 50 years ago. Trust me, Nana, it's the same. What difference does it make?
Now, the Taubmans discontinued though. Well, not discontinued. They haven't continued it.
Okay.
They do rotate their colours though. So if you wait a year or two, it might come back.
It's okay. I have to finish it by tomorrow.
Is that the colour?
Yes. Well, it is, but my Nana thinks it isn't. She painted it ages ago.
Well, if it's old, it's probably changed. Paint tends to fade.
I mean, it doesn't even matter anyway because we're selling the house. It's just that, like, my Nana is so pedantic.
Thanks. There's one here with a similar hue. It's a bit more vibrant, but it's probably similar to what your grandma remembers.
Which one is it?
Lime Parfait. How can you get away with that?
Hello?
Nana, they didn't have the paint.
Who is this?
They didn't have Cressida, but
Daniela, did you find the paint?
yep, I found the paint, Nana.
Good girl, I know they had it at the store. I told you it's better off.
Okay, I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow?
Yep.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, see you, Nana.
Thank you, have a happy day.
Bye.
Bye, honey, goodbye, bye.
Still in the same job, which is awesome, but I am on maternity leave. Maternity, yeah, so it's really great. I'm really happy. He feeds really well. Breaks, you know, just work. You're still painting. I'm living it. I'm not living it. Oh no, I'm just living it. Yeah.
So that was Lime Parfait by Pat Mooney. What were your thoughts on Lime Parfait? What did you think of it?
Oh, it's great. It's very well made. And I don't want to preempt anything with the other films, but there's a lot of similarity with the other films as well. Yeah. And it's one thing that I noticed post-COVID, real simple ideas, real family-oriented, things that are close to stories that are close. Yeah. And I think, with COVID, for instance, one of the things that it did for films like this was that it gave people, filmmakers and writers, a time to really think about what they were writing and thinking in a much more micro way. And those kind of stories are real, they're honest and they're there. And you can really sense the truth of them to the filmmakers. I think, they really craft a really, just a big punch with a little, with little elaboration. You know what I mean?
We were actually able to get in touch with Pat Mooney, who shared some behind-the-scenes insights into making the short film. And he was saying that they had literally 2 days to film the entire thing.
Uh-huh.
And then luckily they were able to come back after a few months and they basically restructured the ending, which was what you see at like the beachside. But yeah, it's a very short time span to be making a movie, and that movie in particular was nominated for Best Short Film at Melbourne International Film Festival, and I think it also screened at BFI South Bank in 2023, and was also at Gozo International Film Festival in Malta. So I'm curious to get your insights. Like, do you have any tips or trade secrets to share with aspiring filmmakers out there to possibly improve their chances to like have a successful festival run?
Yeah, look, there's a few, and some of them are a little bit controversial. Like, in that, like in the St Kilda Film Festival we had this year, 2025, 160 films or such in the program. I want to put as many in as I can. But when you're coming across like a 20, 25-minute film or up to 40 minutes for short films, that can be tough. That's really, it's like the story is, you got to construct the film around the story. So if it takes you 40 minutes to tell your story, tell it in 40 minutes. But my advice is always cut, and cut. I think for filmmakers as well, it's like everyone's really got really big ideas. They want to really show off what they can do and that sort of thing. My advice would be to work to it, and really think about what you're trying to do with this particular film. Like I see filmmakers come through, and it's like in one film, and Peter Jackson I can put into that category. It's like one film, okay, I'm working with visual effects. This film, I'm working with cinematography. This film, I'm working with sound. This film, I'm working with documentary. And then 3 or 4 films into it, you bring all those lessons together and go, okay, here's the one that I want to make. You can see the progression with Australian filmmakers that are starting to work in short form and then into feature. David Michaud is a perfect one. His short film Crossbow, that is Animal Kingdom. And you can see him working the craft in that film. When I look at films that are sent to the festival, and when I'm looking at them for selection, the very first thing I look at is the composition. How is the film composed? And like, whether it's my kind of film or not, I have to divorce myself from my personal taste. It's like, do they understand the language of cinema? Like, you're working in a frame. Do they understand what is happening in the frame, but also outside of the frame? We're looking at a certain perspective, knowing that other things are going on. When I see a filmmaker knowing how to compose what is happening in the frame, I think, all right, you know what, they've watched a lot of movies. And all the lessons are already paid in blood by the masters of the form. And you have to avail yourself to that and watch and watch and watch and watch. Particularly short films. If you're working in a short film market, you've got to be watching short films. You can't just think, oh yeah, I can make a short film. It's like, what's the standard? How does the frame work? And you can see it straight away. And immediately that elevates you into the top, probably 10% of filmmakers.
You know what, we're going to throw to a break. Coming up after this, we have another short film called Handhold, directed by Yianni Rowlands. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back to the program. Our next film is from 2024 and it's called Handhold, directed by Yianni Rowlands. The plot is a young man attempts to reconnect with his father after witnessing the passing of his grandfather. Take a look.
Έτσι το ήξερα κι εγώ ότι τα νιάτα μου. Σίγουρα εκεί. Πολύ ωραίο, πάρα πολύ ωραίο. Εντυπωσιακό εισιτήριο έχει εκεί. Ελληνοποιήσεις. Θα το έχετε νιώσει.
Πάλι βέβαια μέσα με τα ελληνικά δεδομένα, με τα τραγούδια, με τους χορούς, αλλά θα υπάρξει έτσι ένα οπτικό, ακουστικό υλικό που νομίζω θα ευχαριστήσει όλους τους καλεσμένους.
Δεν πρέπει να το χάσει κανένας αυτό. Είναι το κτίριο του υλικό και θα ευχαριστήσει βέβαια και το τεχνικό μέρος.
Και όπως είπαμε, αυτή η εκδήλωση θα λάβει μέρος όπου θα γίνει μια τέτοια διαφορετική βραδιά.
The sun is setting at the river's end. This is the place where you can find me when I need a solitary moment. With each memory lost in reverie, the shadows lengthen at the river's end. I'm sad and blue, but I remember when my heart was always full of laughter. How happy we were then at the river's end.
That was Handhold by Yianni Rowlands. So this is, as you touched on earlier, it's important for short films to pack a punch in a short amount of time. This is one that, you know, says a lot without saying anything. What were your first impressions of Handhold?
Well, this is what I was saying before about the simplicity. It's like there is no frills in that film. It's the intent is really straight down the line. It's like, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to have you, and let's go. Hard film for the actors. I mean, you know, it's all so inner.
Yes.
That's hard. And it's also very hard for director too, so it's a very skillful thing to do. But again, I think a pre-COVID thing, it's like, let's just focus on the small moments, the things that are right here. And I don't know if people really think about it in that kind of a way, or, you know, the way that I do necessarily. But during that time, of course, we were so confined. I really enjoyed COVID, to be honest with you. Like, I really liked that confinement, and I really liked having things that I knew and loved around me. So I think that film kind of really represents that simplicity. And, you know, this little thing is, you know, has such a profound moment in this person's life.
Yeah. So this is a short film that premiered at screened at the Fantastic Film Fest, and I believe was also at Brisbane International Film Festival. How does St Kilda balance showcasing local and domestic filmmakers as opposed to bringing in international filmmakers into the program? Like, is that a difficult balance to strike?
Well, it's a little bit different with St Kilda because it does focus on Australian short films. So that's our central focus, although we do have international showcases from time to time. So that's a big thing. You know, I love to fly the flag for Australian cinema wherever I can, but it's got to compete. You know, it's a competitive marketplace internationally, even for short films. And you have to, like as I was saying before, you have to know the standard. So you have to look at you just have to go to the movies all the time, and you have to look at short films and such when the opportunity arises. So when you're doing that mix of international against Australian, I look at the films without fear or favour. Right. I don't even look at, the information that the filmmakers send in. I don't look at the names, I don't look at where they're from. This is also when I'm programming Australian and international films. I don't look at the story, I don't look at the director's notes, or anything like that. I look at the film. And filmmakers can spend a lot of time doing the notes and providing this. You've got to have the things like photographs and EPKs and support material in case you get in. Photographs, of course, stills are a really important thing because that can get you the cover of a program if you've got crackerjack
Nice
still.
still,
And that will get all the media attention as well. But I look at them without fear or favour, and I hope that filmmakers who don't get in understand that it's competitive, and you've got to compete. And even when you don't get in, like every year, I'll get from filmmakers who don't get in, I'll get emails and such from them saying either your head is in your ass, you've got no taste, and I'm out of here and I'm going to do it myself. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I've done it myself too. It's like, I'm out of here, this industry, I'll do it myself in a different way than you. And I do, when people do write to me about, why didn't my film get in? You don't know what's going on and blah, blah, blah. I actually kind of do to a degree, like I do make films and produce films. So I know how it works and how hard it is. But I do take time in explaining to them, this is the process. Even good films don't get in because it's like when you're shooting a movie, you might shoot the best shot in a movie that you will ever shoot in your entire life. But if it has no bearing to the story that you're trying to tell, you cut. You just got to cut. And that's sometimes happens to good films in my narrative.
After the break, we'll see another short film called Dusk Chorus, directed by Alexander Naughton. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Short Circuit. We're joined by Richard Sowada, and we're here at Fomo Cinemas. Actually, I'll just briefly chat about Fomo Cinemas. What's really interesting about Fomo is, particularly, you might have seen in the foyer area, has a lot of neon lights, and speaking to the founders and the people that work here, they were going for like an 80s Blade Runner type aesthetic, so it's really interesting for people to head down to if you've never been here before. Our final short film for this episode is called Dusk Chorus. It's made in 2019 and it's by Alexander Naughton. It's about a mother who is catapulted into action when she receives a distressed phone call from her child. Check it out.
So we've rescheduled it to 10:45 on Monday. Is there anything else you'd like me to clear?
Just no more calls from now, okay? Oh, and don't worry about getting Bella tonight. Tony's on it.
Okay. Juliet, I'm so sorry to hear about your father.
Thanks. See you Monday. You know why my phone's on silent? I thought you could look after our daughter without me.
Mummy.
Bella? Sweetheart? Is that you? What's wrong, honey? Have you been skiing? Where are you now? In the snow? You're in the snow still?
I've lost Dad.
Bella, what do you mean you've lost Dad?
I can't see anyone. You need to come and get me. Please.
Bella Gabriel, put your father on the phone now, please.
I don't know where he is. He's gone. You need to come and get me.
Bella, are you telling me you're alone in the snow?
Yes, Mummy. Can you come and get me now?
Sweetheart, I can't come now because I'm just too far away, so you need to find your dad.
He said he would be quick, but he never came back.
Did you go with friends, honey? Are you with anyone? Bella, can you hear me? Listen to me, sweetheart. How many other people are with you at the snow?
I can't see anyone.
Well, what was that?
Sorry, Mummy.
Okay, sweetheart, I need you to look at the top of the screen and tell me how many bars are left.
Wait. There's one. You need to come and get me. Please.
Mommy. It's okay, I'm still here, sweetheart. Can you hear me? All right. Hang on, honey. It's okay. Bella, darling, it's okay. It's okay. Just stay on the line, okay? Bella? It's okay, honey. I'm going to call you back. No, it's okay. I need to get someone to come and help you. I'm going to call you back, and you're going to stay there. Then you're going to pick up the phone when I call you in 2 minutes, okay? Okay. All right, Bella. No, stay there. Stay there, honey. Shit! Please. Bella? Okay, honey.
It's cold. I'm really cold.
Is it snowing, sweetheart?
Yes. It's windy. Mummy, can you please come and find me? I'm hungry.
Honey, I know. It's okay. It's okay, sweetheart. Mummy's gonna find you, I promise. Mummy's gonna find you, okay? Mummy's found you, sweetheart. Mummy's found you. It's okay. Mummy's found you. Bella. Bella.
That was Dusk Chorus. What were some of your thoughts on Dusk Chorus? It's a very stress-inducing short film.
It's incredibly stressful, and as a parent, that kind of amplifies everything. And in fact, you know, for me, I never used to really cry in movies or anything like that. But once I became a parent, everything became much more sensitive. Now I cry all the time.
Did you cry during this short film?
No, I didn't cry all the time, but I felt the
Right.
tension ratchet
coming on.
very highly.
That's another short film where the director who reached out to us said the original plan was to shoot it in one long take, interestingly enough, and then they, due to various constrictions, they changed the shot compositions, and you can see how early on in the short film it's got those kind of still, carefully composed shots, and then it ratchets up into those kind of handheld shots. In the dynamic of the film industry has changed quite dramatically in recent years, particularly with streaming services, and we see more and more feature films go straight to streaming.
Yes.
And yet, festivals such as St Kilda seem to have such an enormous appeal. As you mentioned, there's more and more submissions each year, and even the events are booked out year on year.
Yes.
Why do you think festivals still have such a wide appeal and are able to bring the community together?
I think in large part they haven't lost, like, you know, people going to the movies, even in the independent environment, there's still a limited, you still see a limited amount of films. And those films are chosen by a limited amount of people with particular tastes. And look, my view on things generally is that the way the industry works commercially is that the next choice is based on the last success. It's not based on the next good idea, because the next good idea, if it's untested, is high risk. And right at the moment, the industry, largely because of COVID, is very risk adverse. There is a lot of money to be lost. There's also a lot of money to be gained. And in my perspective, it's not about the money necessarily, but the success of a business is based on risk in this environment, because no one is taking a risk. That's a broad brushstroke, and I'll probably have exhibitors, around the place, kicking me out of the industry because saying that. But it is risk averse. Festivals are not. With festivals, they do require the tentpole of films, the big films that will make them some serious dough during the festival. And when I say serious dough, it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars actually. But that allows them to take the risk. And I think because our general selection is quite limited, when the curtains open and you can see a whole other perspective from around the world in a very short space of time, people go for it because they don't get it anywhere else. In my view, with film festivals as well, it's really, really important that there's an individual identity behind them too, where the audience can literally see and hear the voice of the curator. I think film festivals are potentially losing that a little bit as well and becoming a little bit too, they're big business, and becoming a little bit too conservative as well in their own right. And so I think there's more risk that needs to be taken there. But from an audience perspective, that's their success, is the vista that they can provide. Just quickly, with the St Kilda Film Festival, it's a little bit different because there is so much investment in the films from the filmmakers, like their audience, not only, but there's the filmmakers, the cast, the crew, the mum and dad, and everyone related to the film. So there is a kind of a built-in audience in that, and that audience is so awesome. They're so with all the filmmakers, they're not just with the film that they've come to see or represent. They want everyone to succeed. And you don't necessarily get that at larger international film festivals or the commercial sector as well.
Some very fascinating insights, and I really appreciate your time today. Thank you everyone for joining us today on this episode of Short Circus. We've seen some great short films, but next week we're going to have another amazing lineup of short films, so I hope to see you there. See you next week.